While Speed is on his whole Africa tour, I'm going to tell you guys about the most important word I've learned in my adult life and the most powerful book I've read in my adult life. So, you ever notice that the countries with the most natural resources tend to be the poorest, and the countries with the least natural resources tend to be the richest? Because of this word neo-colonialism, which basically means, okay, I've imposed my rule over your country for generation after generation, militaristically, and I've colonized you. And now I don't have to occupy that space and directly colonize you anymore, so I won't. I got bigger moves to make, right? So I'm going to give you back your independence, but you still have such a dependence on me because all of your economic and cultural systems and political systems have depended on me for generation after generation. So even if I move over here and I leave you back your quote unquote independence, you still act as a colony under me because you still depend on me in those ways. And that right there is the story of the world today, neo-colonialism. A lot of countries got their independence back in the 50s, quote unquote, but it wasn't real independence. It's like if you and your family were maids in my house for generation after generation, and then I move out of that house and I leave that house to you. And then you and your family are like, well, now what the hell do we do? Like, we don't even know how to operate in here. So every day you're still calling me up. You're still trying to figure things out. You're trying to figure life out through me because I was massa for all those generations. So you still have this dependency on me and you don't know how to shake it. I, as massa, I get to still be massa, just not with that quote unquote title, and I get my mobility back. I get to make other moves and move around and buy other houses and all that. The book I want to tell you guys about is called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. One of the greatest essays ever written. Walter Rodney was a Guyanese civil rights scholar and activist who was assassinated in 1980. He was exiled from the United States and Jamaica for a lot of things he was writing, and I truly believe we would live in a totally different world today if he continued to write and speak on the messages that he was giving in his life. You know, he was Guyanese, so my parents knew him growing up, and I have a lot of personal, I have accounts of people knowing him who knew how powerful a man he was. Yeah, let's go ahead and normalize that word. Forget colonialism. Let's start talking about neo-colonialism.